Hello everybody, it is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to the Field Technologies Benefits of Photo Documenting for Mobile Workforce webinar presented by me, Slide, CEO and founder of Photo in Mobile Corporation. We'll give it a few more minutes for those that come in a little bit late to join us, and then we'll get started. In the meantime, just to call out that there is a questions portion of the webinar app, second from the bottom, right above the chat. Feel free to ask questions as we go along. I'll be more than happy to answer them if appropriate when asked. If not, we can address them at the end of the webinar during the Q&A session. So let's give it another minute and then I'll get started. Okay, it's 2:02. I might have been a little quiet earlier. I turned up my volume. Hopefully everything is okay now. So welcome to the webinar on field technologies and benefits of photo documenting for mobile workforce. My name is Slide Barisic. I'm the CEO and founder of Photo in Mobile Corporation. We'll start slowly and get into give you a little bit of introduction and then go through the app, and instead of the screenshots we'll try to do a live demo if the technology allows us. So a little bit more about Photo-In. Started recently, basically at the beginning of last year, got incorporated, focused on the US market. All of the development is done actually in Croatia, which enables us to get highly talented engineers that help us then move with the development pretty quickly and continue to add a bunch of great stuff to Photo-In and further develop the solution and add features that customers are requesting. Initially, we got most of the traction in the construction, property management, and real estate verticals, and most recently also targeting insurance, claims adjusting, underwriting, and merchandising use cases in terms of controlling the shelving compliance with contract terms, ed caps, etc. We're proud to call out that we have strategic partnerships with major B2B cloud storage providers, Box, ShareFile by Citrix, and Ignite, but also have other connectors in order to provide one of our key aspects, which is a direct connection from the field to customers' existing storage systems. So we have a connector with SharePoint, Oracle's Web Center content, Intuit's QuickBase, and also a WebDAV connector that can go to any in-house server with a URL and internet connection. A few names to share with you guys to sort of provide a little bit of validation of the users that we already have in the field. So again, like I said, construction, with the initial traction, Eagle Rock is a beer distributor, Boomtown is a real estate services company, pest control, engineers and consultants, etc. So let's start by, on the photo documentation piece, let's start by talking about why photo documentation as such and as a category can be called out separately and what is the real importance. I think everybody gets it sort of intuitively, but here's some numbers that potentially you can take away with you, that 90% of the information brain processes visually, and that visuals are actually processed 60,000 times faster than text. This is one of those that got me. We usually say photo is worth 1,000 words, maybe 60,000 words. And then in terms of documenting and leveraging those visuals in the documenting process of what happens in field work, important to note that good documentation is important. One of the stats that we reference is that 59% of managers miss important information simply because they can't find it. So actually making that documentation and photo documentation available for leveraging in the business is extremely important. Again, I'll here and there remind you that you have the questions part of the webinar app. Please feel free to ask questions along the way. I'll address them as they get asked or at the end during the Q&A session. As this is a more generalistic webinar that talks about general photo documentation applicability for companies that have fleets of field workers, of mobile workers that need to capture and document visually what they do and what happens, conditions in the field. Wanted to call out a few of those key aspects as to why photo documentation is important and what are the actual use cases. So documenting field, site, property, job conditions, all kinds of walks and inspections, reporting on progress of the work done in the field to owners, daily reporting, audit trails, even workflows in terms of the leveraging the field information together with the visuals, like requests for information on RFIs, punch list change orders in construction, work orders in the property management, and in the end, it also can help, good photo documentation can also help reduce warranty and litigation costs because a good and well documented field work with the key information that comes together with it, like GPS, date, timestamp, who took the photo, we'll talk a little bit more about that, can actually be leveraged to resolve those disputes and then reduce costs in terms of getting legal counsel. Why looking for a different way to do it? So, you know, when you look at in any folder where there's a lot of photos, you basically have a lot of IMGs and some random numbers. Very hard to figure out what's going on here and how to actually leverage it. A lot of time is wasted there. And let's actually call out the overall process and discuss it. This is what we see in the field every single day, and as we're talking to hundreds and hundreds of customers, it gets validated on a daily basis. So the overall process is extremely cumbersome and costly. There's a lot of time leaks, so to speak. Photos, information, and reports are captured separately, generally speaking, in the field, and even if together all the information doesn't necessarily travel and is not necessarily easily leverageable on the back end. If you want to have an organized photo documentation archive, there's a lot of manual work that goes on. If you use cameras, you're doing manual download, upload, organization. If you're doing any naming of the files, again, it's done manually. And even if all of that ends up on the server, usually you have separate files that are very hard to use on the back end in terms of, again, saving time versus causing you to spend hours to put the pieces together. In terms of the photos themselves, when using them, as we've seen on this previous slide, you got to look at a lot of them to find a few that you need. You have some random file names, very little context about each of the files and each of the photos. Generally, it's used by attaching sort of as an afterthought, or here's a visual, but then let's say in a report, it might end up like a small thumbnail that doesn't really tell much to the audience. And in terms of sharing, still there's a prevalent use of email to get it to the third parties and those that you want to work with on that photo documentation. So as we looked at the problem, we obviously tried to define key aspects of an ideal photo documenting solution. Here's what we sort of concluded and got a lot of validation again from the marketplace that we are on the right track. So it has to be simple and easy to use tool to capture it all together rather than having a disjointed capture experience. instead of storing it separately and then having another security where you can, this is a business setting, so not necessarily just a private photo. So for the business, it works much better to have a direct connection to company's own storage and systems rather than to have a separate storage facility. Again, because of the business setting, it needs to, there has to be an ability to easily manage this capture in the field and then management of the overall process. And in today's world, anytime, anywhere access, very important. In the end, and this is where I'm going to call out Salesforce as one that sort of put the stake in the ground, because different businesses work differently, have different workflows. Just think about what they're doing in a different way. The solution should actually be very configurable to meet these different business needs and workflows. And as we identify these aspects, we of course set out to solve for them, and in that way we came up with a PhotoIn mobile as the ideal photo documenting solution. So what we do is actually have a easy to use, simple to use mobile app that works across Apple and Android devices, tablets and phones, and then wrote the software to actually directly connect whether it be the cloud storage providers like Box, ShareFile, Ignite, or through a WebDAV connector to connect with any in-house server, as I mentioned earlier. We continue to work on adding more of these to basically cover most of the market and enable the customers to choose their own. Key thing to point out here, the photos actually end up in the right folder. So it's not just putting them up there to again have that one folder with a bunch of different files, but to actually give it organization, give it meaning, and file them exactly where they need to go automatically rather than having to do it manually. Real quick, we talked about the management and configuration. We actually have a web portal where you go ahead and configure the solution to fit your needs, your workflows, and again, in that way, simplify the overall process. At this point, I'm going to try to do that live demo and show you how that all actually looks and works real time. Just see, make sure that you guys can see. Okay, yeah, so there's my iPad. I'm actually already, I'm going to go out of the app to show you down bottom left, little photos getting filed up into the cloud. We immediately end up in the gallery. Not a million different steps to go through. It's just to simply capture the photos and information and reports. So top right corner, notice the camera button. I'm going to tap it. We're in our conference room. I'm going to take the picture. Down bottom right says use photo. There's going to be a little delay because I'm going through the Air server. Hopefully you notice that it already knew what project I'm on, and it gave me a reminder that I can add an annotation. So I'm going to tap on the chair and annotate it. I'll wait for you guys to see it and show you a little bit of the zoom in. There we go, we can zoom in and then I'll zoom back out. Now I'm doing a little swipe from the left, or you can press the three little lines. So here on the left side, please notice the GPS longitude, latitude, date and time stamp. We do a reverse address lookup based on the GPS, which device took the app. Now I'm going upwards. Then project based on that GPS, and we leverage that key information to actually give photo the name. So no longer do you get the random IMG and some numbers. You actually get the name of the photo that immediately gives you some context. Down on the bottom left, please notice different tags. So I will go ahead and do a construction one. Let's call this equipment. Let's do a property management one. Obviously chair is a furniture, so we'll select that. And let's do potentially a purpose and call this a quality control walk. It's going a little quickly. Cool. Notice down on the bottom you actually can capture any kind of comments. I sort of slowed down in talking, monitoring what you all can see versus what I'm doing on my iPad, again because of the delay of going through multiple technologies. You can email the photo, export it to PDF. I'll go ahead and force the sync, although you can set it up to go automatically. So the first pillar of the solution that I need to call out here is that everything you see on the screen is actually as the information is taken and embedded into the photo as metadata. Basically it adds a few kilobytes to the photo, but all the field information that you have just captured either manually or automatically in terms of the GPS date timestamp now gets to travel with the photo. So on the back end, as you're looking for your right photos, the metadata enables us to do all kinds of cool things that we will show you here. Again, I will point out that you have the questions portion of the webinar if you want to ask some questions so that I can address them. So here we are back in the gallery, another swipe from the left. And notice how we can look at photos by project, address, date, device. And for a little bit of a wow effect, I'm going to show you all the devices associated with our account. And then pick this one, which is a friend of mine from Croatia who actually used PhotoIn to log his travel around the world that he's done from May 2013 to May of this year. So here he is going east from Croatia across Asia. It actually works in the Pacific. He took a boat, then South America. So literally just to show you something cool. Let's now go back to the beginning. I will quickly show you here just a little bit more of the mobile app. So let's go ahead and find that chair that we annotated by typing it in the top right. I'll click search. Hopefully you'll see the result. There we go, 192 photos with the chair. We do a lot of these demos so you can tell a lot of chairs get annotated, but basically that's how easy it is to find a specific photo just by doing a keyword search. Another thing that I want to point out here before I go ahead and show direct connection to the storage is the idea of reports. So why don't I just show you quickly a basic report. So this is sort of like a one-pager. You can add as many photos as you want. You can annotate individual photos, write conclusions, action steps, and then turn it into PDF and sync it to your storage. Just one a little bit more complicated or very complicated, just to show you how far it actually goes. A swipe from the left, you can literally do an inspection of a high-rise where you have similar aspects. You can go ahead and do your inspection of different parts of the floor, take pictures for each, write comments, do drop-downs, yes, no answers, etc. Everything that you've seen thus far, including these reports, are actually fully customizable to fit your need. I'm showing just some of the ones that we have as we've set it up for our current customers and those in trial, but just to give you a demonstration. So having done that, let me actually go ahead and show you what actually happens with those files. So I'm doing a demonstration with Box. We do use Box for our management. So here's a fixed folder that I've had before, the PhotoIn Demo projects. The project name, which is the PhotoIn headquarters, and then notice again by different tags that we've done, the photos get filed. Notice down here on the bottom right, the photo that we just took is actually coming up. And there you go, you see the yellow, the furniture that we tagged, it found the right folder, and it just uploaded this photo straight into the folder that it needed to go to, and it all happened automatically. Let's call it near real time. Depending on your storage provider and the abilities of it, you might get, I'm showing you here with Box, you actually get the metadata, and then again, if you have other systems, there's other things that can be done with this metadata. So I'll go really quickly before I continue and show you that basically what I've demoed now is this direct connection between the field, the mobile app that you use in the field to capture photos, information, and reports, and whatever your storage provider might be, directly from the field. There is no manual filing, manual naming, and all the other manual stuff. And in terms of actually finding the photos, you can literally search by keywords or slice and dice by different variables. Let's take a quick look at how that looks and how does the photo know where to go, or how does the software know where to put the photo. So I've actually pre-configured it to follow the path of going to the photo in demo projects, then find the right project or create that folder if it doesn't exist, and then the PM tag. That's why we saw it as furniture. So you see that. Now let's go back to the portal, and I can show you how easily it is to change the hierarchy, and in terms of actually doing a new tag. Let's create one just to fully demonstrate the ease of creating a new category and adding multiple values, so you can do as many of these as you want to have. Next question that usually gets asked, and we are sort of ready for it, is how does it know which project it was on? Because you can actually come here in advance, leveraging the map. I'll wait for it to pop up for you guys, and actually create your own geofence for that project. You can set up the radius, put in the project name, you get the address, etc. You've seen the reports, so you can actually put a branding on the reports in terms of inviting additional users. You can give them permissions, whether they're just uploading or uploading and downloading and seeing other people's photos, and just invite them by email that they open on their mobile device. Click a link, and that's it. Literally, 100 or 1,000 guys and girls can be deployed within minutes. You can actually look at all those devices post hoc. So let's pick, I don't know, let's pick Danielle. So you can actually have devices be associated, multiple devices per same user, post hoc change of permissions, deactivate by unclicking the active button, and then finally, again, depending on your system, if the system does not support showing the annotations on the photos, you can come and look at them here, select multiple projects, multiple tags, date ranges, or simply type in that keyword that you want to find all the photos that have that keyword associated with them. Notice how the thumbnails are loading. That is because we do not store the photos or the thumbnails or the information that actually gets read from. This is basically a viewer into your storage, and the rest of the pieces are basically configuration settings for the photo in as it gets done in the field. Again, real quick reminder that there is a questions panel within the webinar app where you can ask questions if any pop up. So let's go back to our definition and do a quick summary of what you've seen. So as the profile of the ideal photo documentation solution directed us, simple to use, single tool for the field, capture photos, information, and create reports. automatically capture the GPS, date, time, user, and project info. Data must go with the reports and with photos and reports as metadata. There's automated filing to company's own storage with a direct connection. You get an immediately organized photo documentation library. It allows the company to maintain control of all the photos and data. It does belong to the company. And it enables the photos and data to drive real-time field to office workflow. What that basically means is that if you got guys that have access, or girls that have access to the storage system, as the photos get populated, as you've seen on Box, you can actually share those folders, have notification emails, and basically speed up the communication, collaboration, and the workflow that happens from the field to the office versus wait for somebody to have time to put it all together, to email it somewhere, to download it, upload it. Huge time savings. And as you've seen on the web portal, it's easy to manage everything. You can access it anytime, anywhere, as long as you have a web access. You can easily search by keywords or multiple variables, set up permissioning, and then one thing that we didn't yet publicly put out there, but it does exist and it's coming within the next 4 weeks, is the actual editor where you can edit your own custom reports. I've shown you a few. Feel free to let us know if you want to test some of them out. And then the filing hierarchy with this new release where you can actually write the logic so that it doesn't have to follow one filing path, but it can actually, combination of tags and information can send a photo into different folders, again, to help further automate the workflows from the field. And you've also seen it very configurable, and we have a lot of ideas here in terms of smart fields, etc. Some more logic stuff, more report options, etc. as we go along and continue our development. Again, quick reminder, there is a question, Pan. I think some of these I am already answering as we go along, but if there's any specific ones that you're not hearing addressed, please let me know. What is one of the very cool things, at least for me, is that as we got into this, we obviously were going down the property path, and then sort of the whole application space or the usability space sort of just grew. We got a lot of interest from different verticals, and basically this would be a simplistic way of sort of showing the power of photo in, of the photo documentation on the left, photos, reports, data, and then where all you can find it, and where all it can be used, and then how photo in solves for it across all that with the metadata and combining photos and reports, making it searchable, doing the autofile. And then one thing we didn't explicitly discuss, but I think you can imagine that all this data that's collected and gets delivered as metadata to any other system all of a sudden becomes analyzable and provides many other opportunities for businesses to actually optimize their workflows, figure out what's going on in the field, and find other pockets of savings and improving their business. So many different roles: field supervisors, managers, installers, inspectors, analysts, many different actions as we've discussed before, documenting conditions, workflows, inspections, quality, safety, marketing photos, doing this whole thing of transferring, filing, organizing, managing the reports, reporting to the owners, and then in terms of the uses and benefits that it actually creates, ensuring compliance, enabling simpler audit trails, quality control or to control quality, resolving disputes, warranty disputes in construction, for example, marketing photos in real estate, selling because of leveraging this technology and ability to provide better service to your client, or in terms of leveraging the photos themselves as the visuals that speak to your clients and your customers as you're selling them, business analysis and collaboration across the business. And once again, the difference that that I'm hoping you're going to take from here: it's simple, it's automated, and it's fully configurable. Some of the tests that were done with PhotoIn versus the old way of doing things is that it saves up to 20 minutes per hour in the whole photo documenting process. Again, easy keyword search, faster, way more effective control and dispute resolution, faster capture of more data that can be used in the analysis, and then automating workflows. We've actually gone through the demo, and I'm quickly going through the screenshots if our Air server failed us. So I'm going to come down to the end here, mentioned a few other functionalities, like you've seen maps, you've seen reports, you can import other photos into the mobile app, different settings to turn off mobile network, to only do it in Wi-Fi, whether you want automatic sync or not, photo quality in terms of to control for the size, and many others coming. And maybe I wanted to spend a few minutes here talking about these specific use cases and the return on investment that we offer to customers and that they're already experiencing today. So documenting site field property conditions, you reduce the time that it takes you to do it, so automatic savings that result in thousands of dollars per user. In terms of quality control and issue resolution, they are way quicker. Communication enables quicker resolution of issues, more collaboration, more satisfied clients, then further sort of second and third level savings in terms of not having to spend as much time on actual communication, so not just capturing the data, but actually communicating after that, because you're leveraging visuals, less repeated visits, again because it's well documented with visuals. In terms of safety and other inspections, obviously you've seen the multiple types of reports. They can be configured to fit whatever your template may be. You get this analyzable archive, so where you can see, well, what are the top infractions, what are we doing well, what are we not. Increases the safety of the workplace, which is again another one of those second and third level benefits that you get by ensuring that bad things don't happen, or at least that they happen at the lesser frequency and severity, that smaller severity. In this case, with leveraging this, you can potentially leverage that in your negotiations with the insurance company, and even potentially reduce your premium, again depending on the type of business you're in, what are the standards, procedures, and the diligence that is required. You can report progress to owners. It all happens automatically if you leverage notifications and have systems that support that, like these cloud providers. You don't really have to do anything after you have captured the photos. If you have tagged them right, they will get automatically filed and synced into the right place, and the third party or the owner will get a notification that there is the most recent report or the most recent set of photos to see what has been done. In terms of invoicing, to verify the work has been completed, and for example in construction, save thousands of dollars on not having to get somebody else and pay them to go ahead and see what's actually going on in the field, because your guys can do it more proactively and provide you that documentation from the field. I did mention a few times the warranty costs, and even just now the verifying the work completed. You have this embedded data. Photos are all above 4 megapixels, and that's the lowest standard to be court admissible. Teardowns are eliminated with better communication and visuals, and everybody seeing what's actually going on, less rework, and then in terms of post hoc leveraging of that photo documentation, you literally eliminate hours of finding the right photo, because you can do a keyword search and you can slice and dice through your well-organized photo documentation library. One of the things that we encounter, and again just a quick reminder that you can ask questions, so feel free to throw them. I think I'm addressing most of the ones we got thus far. This is an addition slide most recently to talk about how to get others that you might be talking to understand the importance. So besides just sort of having the intuitive sense that, you know, visuals are important, you got that slide from the beginning talking about 60,000 times faster processing by brain of visuals versus text. You get this embedded data, you capture the data and information together with the photos and reports, saving thousands of dollars. You are on the forefront with the technology which will help you win deals and new clients, have much better collaboration and communication with third parties, vendors, owners, clients, and basically increase their satisfaction with your services. And of course, let's not forget this is all for field work out there, outside of the office, so it definitely enhanced safety and quality control. Sometimes when people know that there is control happening and not just textually, but with real proof, with embedded data, generally there's immediate improvement in just the behavior and the situations that happen out in the field. This is, I think we're doing really well on time. So here's a, you know, we have as much time as needed if there's any specific questions. So feel free to ask down here in the questions pane. I think you can actually even raise your hand. So however you feel appropriate, I'm more than happy to answer any questions that might be raised now. I think I addressed all the other ones that were asked along the way. I haven't put my email here, but I actually really don't mind people reaching out directly to me if that suits your fancy. So sly@photoin.com, but also to the extent you're interested in a little bit more about the pricing or the product itself, getting a dedicated demo or a demo to a larger audience within your organization, sales@photoin, and then support if you prefer not to talk to anybody and just sort of go ahead and test out the solution by registering on the web. You can find this information on the web as well, but just sort of again, okay, there's a question. Is the slideshow available for me to review? I am going to check with the marketing lady. I know that the recording, because I recorded this session, is going to be available. I can potentially have her also make the slides available for anybody to reference later. So we'll see what we can do, and if nothing else, send it to you by request, John. Any other questions? Somehow I lose this question pane, so I gotta go back to it. Hopefully I'm not going to miss any. John, I think I answered your question. If you had another one, for whatever reason, I can't see the question pane again. So feel free to email me. I'll be more than happy to help you one-on-one. So there it is. Are you aware of any app developers who are well adept at integrating PhotoIn with custom apps? Great question. Thank you very much for asking that. Yes, I am, because they work for us. So we are more than happy to explore these opportunities. We are in the process of opening our API, and if we need to suggest somebody outside for any special work, we have actually a whole list of people we are talking to, of sort of establishing partnerships. if it is something meaningful enough in a sense of it already exists, that there is an API on the other side and you would like us to do it, we'd be more than happy to explore that opportunity and see what we can do for you. Anybody else? People are slowly popping off, so maybe I'll wait another minute or two. Yes, feel free, anybody, to email me, sly@fotoin.com. Okay, it sounds like there's no other questions. So with that, I'll give everybody 19 minutes back. Thank you very much for attending the session. Look forward to hearing from you all, either with interest or even just feedback if you're already going to try it out. Looking forward to working with you all. Thank you very much.